Hi, I'm Underbelly, and you suck at producing. Today, we're going to learn how to chop samples in Ableton and use our newfound knowledge to create a radical beat. Now, a sample is a short snippet of recorded sound, usually taken out of a pre-existing piece of music. The sample we're going to be using today is a drum break from Rare Earth's I Just Want to Celebrate. Let's have a listen.
Okay then, now that we got a sample inside of Ableton, it's time to work our magic. First things first, let's get rid of this disgusting silence in the beginning and probably also whatever's going on in this general area right over here. And let's skip over all that and get to our drum loop, which starts right around here. Let's have a listen. Alright, now that sounds pretty fresh. Only thing is I don't really need that record scratch at the end. It was cool while I did it, but the novelty is starting to wear off. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off, and I think that's all we need. I think we're good. I think we're ready to crop. So let's go ahead and do that. And now that we've done that, I want to warp the sample. And Live is very helpful with this. It tells me its best guess on how fast the sample is going at. So Live thinks that the sample is at 88 beats per minute. So let's go ahead and take its word for it. I'm gonna set the master tempo to 88, and let's see how that sounds. Swag, swag, swag. Okay, that's pretty swaggin', dude. I mean, it loops nice, the beat's fresh, it's funky. I like the snare work, but to be honest, I think we could do better. I think we could take it to the next level. How do we do that? Well, my idea is to take little pieces inside of the drum loop, rearrange them, and then create our own patterns. Because let's face it, if I'm just gonna let this play, I mean, it might sound cool at first, but after it's looped like a billion times as it does in every hip-hop song, it gets kind of old. And it would be really cool if I could create my own fills, my own patterns, by rearranging little pieces inside of the drum loop. So how do we do that? Well, let me give you guys an analogy. Imagine this is your musical salami. You're at the dinner table, it's Sunday night with the fam. Uncle Joe's there, and he gets really angry if one family member gets a bigger slice than the others. It's very important to maintain equal slicing of the musical salami as it passes around the dinner table. So what we're going to do is slice up this clip into equal slices, chop them up, get it to a new track, and then rearrange them from there. So Ableton is very smart. Usually, she's quite helpful. She knows, she gives us a little guesses, little indentations in the musical salami is where to put our slice markers. So I'm going to go ahead and do it in a very musical fashion. Notice how when we play the sample, I'm gonna count a little bit for you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So it's along that timing that we're going to want to place our slices. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Yeah, basically along these things. Live was pretty smart in her guess on how fast the music was going, so it's lining up pretty well with the grid up on top. Let's go ahead and place the rest of these little slice markers so Uncle Joe doesn't get mad at us. And let's check it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. That's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and right click, slice to new MIDI track, and it's very important that we create one slice per warp marker, which is this yellow thing on top, instead of the transient. And the slicing preset we're going to use is, you're probably going to use the built-in because you guys suck, but I got an MPC sampler preset because I'm a G. Alright, so check it. In this new MIDI clip we just created, we got basically the same drum pattern going that we had going on over here, except, chopped up into little tiny pieces. So let's have a listen. Let's turn that up a little bit. Okay. Okay. That's sounding good. Well, that was exceptionally clean. usually we would have a little hiccup like this going on here, because you know what? Live isn't perfect. You know, just like any woman, she makes mistakes that could have, lasting effects on the people around her. For example, if Uncle Joe found out that we left this little hiccup in our MIDI clip, let's just say he would get very, very angry. So we don't really want to have that. We want to make sure before we move on to anything else that our clip is completely clean without any hiccups. And now that we've made sure of that, I think we're ready to start playing with the sample. So usually I would start out by playing it how God intended to, which goes a little bit of something like this. Yeah. And with slicing, we have extreme flexibility on how we want the sample to be played. So for example, I could just play it backwards. I could play it faster or slower. And with that, I think we're ready to start playing with it and see if we can create our own pattern. Okay, so I think we're just going to record a little something like that. Let's see how that sounds. It sounded pretty fresh. Now notice my timing really isn't perfect here because, nobody's perfect, as I just said. So we have something to counteract that. It's called quantizing. If we press quantize over here, all of a sudden our timing is perfect. There are no mistakes ever. Yeah. Yeah. Swag. Okay, well that drum pounding is like totally swagging, dude. Like, that's some next level shit right there. But what if we wanted to add to that? What if we weren't done here? What if we wanted to take it to the next level? Oh wow, would you look at this? Being the ingenious musical goddess that she is, Live has bestowed upon us yet another gorgeous sample for us to work with. Let's have a listen. Alright. Okay. I like this. Oh wow. That's nice. Well, that's pretty swaggin', dude. I could see how that could go well with what we were doing over here. Let's have a listen. Let's see what they would sound like together. Oh God, that's disgusting. God, it's just like diarrhea in my ears. I think the reason why it sounds like diarrhea in my ears is not because the samples are totally incompatible as some might think. It's actually because they're just not in time. So what we have to do is apply the concepts that we learned with this drum loop over here, and take it to this samples over here. So let's just step one is to get rid of what we don't need. So let's just select what we want here. Yeah. Okay, so it basically just repeats twice, so I'm just going to take the first loop. Okay, well that sounds pretty good. Let's just take that little loop right there and crop it. And we're just going to apply the same concept we did with the drum loop over here. So let's start putting in the warp markers into our musical salami. First, let's count it out. 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. So it's basically along the same lines we were doing before. So like I said, Uncle Joe, he's still there after all these years. Unfortunately, he hasn't had a stroke or a heart attack yet, so we still have to obey the rules of having an equally spaced warp markers. So let's just have a listen to that. 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that sounded pretty fresh. So I think we're ready to slice the new MIDI track. Remember, one warp marker, one slice per warp marker, and of course I'm using my MPC sampler preset, which you guys don't have because you guys suck. Alrighty then, first things first, let's check for any irregularities in the samples so that Uncle Joe doesn't have to break out his whip. Okay. Alright, well that's sounding pretty clean. No major irregularities or hiccups. I think Uncle Joe would be quite pleased. But what I like most about the sample is that sweet, delicious wah-wah guitar over in the left channel. You see how the left green thing is slightly higher than the right green thing? That's where the guitar is, and I want to bring that out into the middle. And using our handy-dandy utility, we can make that happen. If we switch the signal from stereo to left, what that's going to do is copy the left side of the audio signal and bring that out and copy it over to the right side so that the left and the right are identical. Let's see how that sounds. Alright, notice how the guitar is now smack dab in the middle, right in the center of the focus. If we went from left to right, it's going to copy the right side of the audio signal over to the left. So we're just going to have see now that the guitar is totally lost, and in its place are the drums and the little road stabs in the middle. We don't want that. We want to go back to the guitar, and using that, let's see how that sounds together with the drums. That sounds like totally fresh. I'm going to totally record that right now. Let's bring up the metronome so I don't screw up. Okay, I think the first take was better, but just in case, let's quantize this bad boy. Make sure that it's absolutely perfect and flawless without any major hiccups or, anything that'll make Uncle Joe angry. Yeah. Swag. Oh my god. Man, Macklemore is really gonna like that, and probably 2 Chainz as well. I'll be sending this beat to both of them.
Well, this concludes our first episode of You Suck at Producing. If you'd like to reach higher levels of musical enlightenment, go ahead and click on the link below. And remember, make a great beat or not, the choice is yours. I'm Underbelly, signing off.